Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back. And I just wanted to come and run my mouth for a quick second. I'm almost back to 100%. If I am, which I'm hoping that I am, anyways. If I'm back to my normal self by Saturday, I'm probably gonna go live Saturday night. I'll of course let you guys know. I'll put a reminder. I'll put it, in the community tab. I, I'll post it on Twitter, and the reminder thing that you put on YouTube. When somebody's going live. So if I do, I'll let you guys know. Um, but that's only if I'm like back to 100%. And today's Tuesday. I don't see any reason why I shouldn't be. Um, I'm feeling a whole lot better today, thank God. Okay. So anyways, girl, let me tell y'all something. One thing about it, two things for sure. Girl, you don't want that take me to the king, okay? That's what I'm calling it from now on. Take me to the king. Girl, you don't want it. You don't want it. All right. Anything that take you, girl, anything that can take you home to glory, we gonna call it take me to the king. Girl, we don't want that. Take me to the king, honey. Um, all right. The first thing I wanted to talk about was Macy Gray. So Macy Gray was on that white man show, the one who is obsessed with Meghan Markle. Remember him? The one that people were calling a racist, like, was it a few months ago? Last year, late last year sometime? I can't remember the exact time. Um, but he's good. I think he's good Judy's with Sharon Osbourne. Okay. So Macy Gray was on he has a show, and Macy Gray appeared on his show. The clip that I saw, it was a clip floating around Instagram, of course, and she made some, you know, comments about pretty much the trans community. And so I wanted to see the entire interview. So I went to his YouTube page, and there was like a almost 13-minute interview. I don't know if that was part of the interview or if that was the full interview. The way that the interview started off, it felt like to me they had went to a commercial break and came back because he started out the interview like, okay, Macy, so like they had already been talking. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. The interview that I saw again was only like almost 13 minutes. I don't know if that was another part of the interview that they just didn't post or if that was actually the full interview. Watched the full interview, and they had a conversation about, I guess, some comments she made about rebranding the American flag, making a new flag, Um, she did say in her comments that she would still, respect anyone and their pronouns, that if you wanted her to call you her, she would still call you her. Um, I just find it comical that you have someone like Piers, whatever his name is, who people were just calling a racist and his homegirl, right? And now you have this black woman on your show making comments about a community that, quite frankly, doesn't really do anything to anyone. Like, you would think that what's going on in the world right now, and I'm not saying that we should not have multiple conversations at once, because we should, right? We should always focus on more than one thing, right? So just because one thing is going on over here doesn't mean that we should not be talking about stuff that's going on over here. Um, but I just thought it was comical that he invited this black woman on his TV show after people had already stamped him with the big R word, right? And now you're talking about trans women when, quite frankly, what does that have to do with anything that's going on right now? Like, I said, I guarantee you, before I even watched the interview, I said, I bet you they didn't even talk about Roe versus Wade. In the clip that I saw, that 13-minute interview, 12 minute and something interview, I didn't hear one person mention Roe versus Wade. I think the focus is on the wrong thing. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it. The vitriol that comes from people towards the trans community, especially from other women, is mind-boggling to me. You would swear up and down that trans women were the enemy. I'm not saying that trans women are perfect, because they're not. No one is perfect. Not black men, not black women, not men, not women, no one, right? We all have room for improvement. But the way that y'all discuss trans women and the things that you say about trans women, you will swear up and down that they were the enemy, and they are not. T.S. Madison ain't did shit to y'all. Amaya Scott ain't did shit to y'all. Janet Mock ain't did shit to y'all. Angelique, what's her name? Miss Ross, Angelique Ross ain't did shit to y'all. Laverne Cox ain't did shit to y'all. They just live. Now, have they probably made some comments that are controversial? Maybe so, I don't know. But in the grand scheme of things, they don't do shit to y'all. There's a good chance the man who you sleeping by is more of an enemy than T.S. Madison is to you. There are men right now telling y'all that y'all don't even have control over your own bodies, and y'all worried about a woman calling herself a woman. Y'all got bigger shit on the plate to worry about than a trans woman referring to herself as a woman. And quite frankly, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. You can't do shit about it. That's one thing I have realized. I'm about to turn 40. It really makes no sense. I understand that people are going to get upset, right? We're going to get upset about LGBTQ. We're going to get upset about black women issues, black issues, black men issues, right? We're going to get upset. When it comes to like trans women calling themselves women or referring to themselves as women and going through whatever process they need to go through in order to feel whole, like, you can't do shit about it, and I can't do shit about it, you can't do shit about it, your mama can't do shit about it. All you can really do is get online and fuss and cuss about it, because at the end of the day, they're still going to refer to themselves as a woman, and you can't do shit about it. That's the real gag. And I don't know why a light bulb just went off the other day like, girl, all they going to do is get online and fuss and cuss, but at the end of the day, T.S. Madison still going to say, bitch, I'm a woman. Amaya Scott still going to say, bitch, I'm a woman. And all you going to do is be mad. And the next day, they still going to say, bitch, I'm a woman. And all you're going to do is be mad. And then next year, they're still going to say, bitch, I'm a woman. And all you're going to do is be mad. When your anger should be directed to a whole nother group of people. And it's MEN. Those are your enemies. The trans community is not. At all. By far. Macy Gray should have took her black ass on that show trying to shed light to women's rights. She should have been having a conversation about Roe versus Wade. But she want to have a conversation with a white man about the trans community. Without a trans community, without a trans person in sight. I've said this and I'm going to say it again. Ain't nothing worse than turning on a TV screen and seeing a whole bunch of white people have conversations about black people. Ain't nothing worse than turning on the screen and seeing a whole bunch of men having conversations about women. Ain't nothing worse than having a whole bunch of straight people having conversations about LGBTQ or whatever, right? Ain't nothing worse than having women on TV talking about trans women and you ain't got nobody in sight from the community that they talking about. You can't say shit. So now you got Macy, again, in front of this white man talking about trans issues with a bigger fish to fry. You know what I don't understand? I don't understand how all of this anger goes towards trans women. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Either women, you feel threatened by trans women, because, just listen to me, you don't ever hear men talk about disrespect, come after trans men the way that y'all go after trans women. You don't never see it. You don't never hear it. You don't never see men online going after attacking verbally trans men. It's always women going after trans women. But then you say you're not threatened, they're not a woman, they can never walk in your shoes. Well, if that's the case, then why are you bothered? Your womanhood should not be affected, or you shouldn't feel any type of way when a trans woman comes into the conversation. Are you having a conversation about a trans woman? Why are you so bothered, sis? And then y'all start bringing up this shit that just sounds stupid. They don't even have a period. There are a lot of women that don't have periods. They can't have a baby. There are a lot of women that don't have or can't have babies. Then y'all start pulling the, oh, who's more of a woman card based off of this, based off of that. And it's just dumb at the end of the day. It really is. I'm sorry. People are going to think what they want to think. I'm going to think what I want to think. It doesn't mean that it's right. You're going to think what you want to think. That doesn't mean that it's right. But at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is when it comes to trans women, you can't do shit about it. Like you can't do shit about LGBTQ in TV shows. You can't do shit about it, but just be mad. There are so many things going on in this world that we should be having conversations about, right? I just read. Let me read this. A group of educators has suggested to the Texas State Board of Education that slavery be taught as involuntary relocation in the second grade curriculum. Here we go with another attempt to whitewash the truth, said Jackie Anderson, president of the Houston Federation of Teachers. There is no way that slavery could actually be called involuntary relocation and get the same meaning as what true slavery is. They were asked with adding the topic of slavery to the second grade curriculum. I'm sure that they were trying to work into the confines of the law, but when there is something wrong with the law that will require someone to do that in the first place, said Anderson. The Texas State Board of Education has asked this work group to change their proposal. Kevin Ellis, the board chair, said in a statement, in our last meeting, the work group provided the SBOE with a draft of their recommendations. And the board has specific concerns with some of the proposed language, particularly the phrase involuntary relocation. Girl, I'll put the link in the description box. Girl, what it comes down to is like, there are so many other conversations that need to be had. Girl, they trying to call slavery involuntary relocation. Girl, they just overturned Roe versus Wade. And girl, y'all asses on TV talking about a trans woman calling herself a woman. Do y'all know, like, girl, what are we talking about? There are so many other important conversations that need to be discussed. And we want to have a conversation about, girl, what makes a woman a woman? What doesn't make a woman a woman? Because at the end of the day, it don't even fucking matter. Because a trans woman still gonna call herself a woman. Like it don't matter. Because these people trying to call slavery involuntary relocation like somebody just had their job, girl, up and moved them from Houston to Dallas. Girl, what? The Wendy Williams Show YouTube channel has been completely deleted following the show's cancellation. That was so unnecessary. That was so unnecessary. Girl, let me just say something. I'm not saying that Sherry Shepherd did anything to Wendy Williams because Sherry Shepherd was not Wendy Williams' sister, so she don't owe Wendy Williams nothing, okay? So I just want to make that very clear. But girl, I don't think they are doing a great job at making sure that Sherry Shepherd starts off her show in a good way. Because girl, I just think that the people who are like ride or die hardcore Wendy Williams fans, those are the people that you would think that they would want to come over and view and support Sherry Shepherd's show. But when you do stuff like this, it leaves a sour taste in those folks' mouths. And they're looking at you and Sherry Shepherd, even though she probably didn't do it, right? Like, oh girl, that's how they gonna pull stunts and shows like that. What was the purpose of deleting the entire? Like, it's like almost like they're trying to erase what she. Girl, when I tell you, baby, when they say they are done with you, they are done with you. Anyways, that's it. I'll talk to y'all girls later. Bye.